right, welcome to a new episode of the cricketnews.com podcast. I've got the boys with me and we're talking uncapped Indian players. That's right, not debutants. We're talking uncapped Indian players. And why we've done that is it's a very simple reason. Until a few years ago, the connotation with uncapped Indian players was specifically or was more so young Indian players. Your players who are coming through the ranks, etc. They fit into that category. But in the last few years, there have been cases like Mr. Surya Kumar Yadav, who has scored tons and tons and tons of runs and has still been in an uncapped category until it changed, of course, last few months. A few months ago when he debuted versus England. But yes, we are broadening the pool. We are talking about uncapped Indian players, and we're going to talk to the boys and see which players impress them. And you can let us know in the comments who impressed you. It could be us even. We're also uncapped Indian players. Let us know if we deserve to play for India. All right. Hello, Sandeepan. Hello, Abhishek. How are you? Sandeepan, how's it going?
Hello. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I think, Sumed, we should specify to the audience that uncapped Indian players who did well in this year's IPL.
Of course.
Yeah.
So uncapped Indian players who did well. Okay, straight on the spot.
Our audience is smart. Our audience is smart. They already know what we're talking.
So uncapped Indian players, Sandeepan, let's start. Give me one name this year that impressed you.
Chetan Sakaria.
Interesting. You picked an RR name that will make the other guest happy. Abhishek da?
But I'll pick Harshal Patel.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. That came out of the blue, but no, of course, he's going to give us a fair choice.
I mean, come on.
I was expecting.
He's been wearing the purple cap from the
until some couple of incidents happened which challenged that space, including Mr. Ravindra Jadeja, but we're not going to talk about that. We've spoken way too much about Jaddu on this podcast. So it is Harshal for you. Okay, all right. So let's we obviously will talk about the macro, we'll talk about their performances, but we're talking about this and one thing that our listeners and viewers should note is that with what's happening in July, you're having a series versus Sri Lanka and you're also having cricket going on in England. So there are two separate Indian contingents playing two separate series in two separate formats. This, we believe, is going to be a trend that will follow in the time to come, and that will open up slots, that will open up opportunities for more players to play, right? And that's why it's important to keep a tab on these guys.
This almost happened 5 years ago. See, Australia played Sri Lanka in a T20I at home.
Yeah,
The next day, a different Australian team played a test match in India.
That's true.
The next day, it almost coincided. They could have coincided, but couldn't have harmed anyone.
Yeah, that's true. The more cricket,
but
the better.
Now, this time, I don't know whether there will be matches on the same day. Two Indian teams may be playing on the same day. But even if not, even this is pretty close. I mean, it's on the cards, basically.
Okay, I think we got to devise another pair of eyes for us, another pair of ears for two cricket matches. I don't know how we're going to cover it. Sandy, I don't know about you, but that's an attractive proposition, right? For fans, for us, everybody. Simultaneous cricket happening and also opportunities for these uncapped boys to come and make a mark.
But not for the broadcasters. The broadcasters don't agree to this because they don't want their revenue to be divided. So for Indian cricket, it's very hard to see, at least on the same day. You can have on different days, but on the same day, I will doubt that. Purely from broadcasting point of view, I'll doubt that they will play both matches together until they are playing. Until unless you are playing a test match in the morning and then playing a T20 in the evening.
Yes, I agree. I agree with Sandeepan.
But that's exactly how it's going to be.
It seems unlikely.
There's no way.
No, the matches will be in England, so the matches will start at 2:30, maybe 3:30. So unless you play the T20, start the T20 at around 10 in the morning, which cannot be ruled out, by the way. Which cannot be ruled out because ODIs in Sri Lanka, start at 10. So why not start a T20 at 10? So it's possible.
When the series are being put together as well, when you're putting together as well, you'll factor that in. as a broadcaster and as a
but I think India's test series in England will start in the first week of August, and by that time Sri Lanka, I think the 6 matches in Sri Lanka will get over.
Even that is possible.
Quite possible. Okay, let's come back.
Even if this was always on the cards, but now with COVID and the restrictions, what will happen is you can't just leave a tour and return just like that. That is taken
that's
away.
True.
So I think you'll see more and more of these things happening, which is good. I mean,
yes. Okay, so we're talking about future. We went into the future, but we'll come back to the IPL. Postponed, but we got some good moments. A lot of good uncapped Indian players on display. Good performances, the obvious ones the boys just mentioned. However, okay, let's talk about the Sri Lanka tour a little bit. We know for a fact that, of course, there are a few established Indian names that will be playing there, will be wearing the blue, but we can expect some debuts. Straight off the bat, Sandeepan, who are the few names you reckon could get their India cap in that series from the IPL based on their performances in IPL 2021?
Probably Harshal Patel, Devdutt Padikkal. These are the 2 names I can think of as of now. Sakaria did well in the IPL, but I don't think he will be picked for, because we have already discussed on our last podcast. I think that was live, not a podcast.
Yeah.
That who will make that probable 20-member squad. So Sakaria, I can't see getting a go ahead of the likes of because there are Bhuvi is there. There is there are other
Chahar.
bowlers. Deepak Chahar. There are more experienced bowlers are there. So Sakaria won't get picked straight away for the Indian team.
The attack here may be spin heavy as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Kunal, Kuldeep Chahal. Kuldeep Chahal are not going to England, right? There is also Krunal. There is also Rahul Chahar.
And I hope they don't leave out. And I hope they don't leave out Tewatia. That is one of my deepest wishes to see Rahul Tewatia in India.
Why not? It deserves it. I mean, I think there's a big opportunity. There's a big chance because Hardik's not bowling, right? You need that extra option. And these guys don't play with 5 bowlers. You play with 6 bowlers. So,
I think Varun Chakravarti also deserves a chance. But will they give him? That's my question. And the Indian think tank believes you need to hide him on the field. But I don't think so that you need to hide Varun Chakravarti. We have seen some worst fielders playing for India. I mean,
or are you hiding him from the world to unleash him in the World Cup?
Well, you have already played. He has been exposed in the IPL, and IPL is the biggest platform of season. That should not be the reason.
Okay. So, of course. Okay. Yeah. Apart from Tewatia, what are your other names, Abhishek? You reckon could debut versus Sri Lanka?
Avesh.
Oh,
Avesh.
He's on standby for England, is he? I reckon he's on standby for England.
I think so.
He is.
Probably.
So he is going for the red ball tour. Yeah.
If he doesn't go to England, he should go to Sri Lanka.
Oh, 100%.
But they will take these players now. We have seen these players. They will take these players as net bowlers.
Harshal has
these players as net bowlers.
Yeah.
You were saying about Harshal.
Yeah, but we saw that in England. We saw that in Australia. The importance of the net bowlers, because by the time a 6-test tour comes to an end, you can't fly in replacements just like that. So, I mean, the Australia tour was won largely. I mean, the reserves played a major role in that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. There are 9 reserve players. It's a 20-member squad. And I won't be surprised if all 20 members end up playing.
Yeah. Avesh Khan's stats from IPL, 8 matches, 14 wickets, economy of 7.7, who bowls at the death. Average 16.5, best of 3 for 32. How good has he been? You looked at Delhi Capitals, right? Rabada out of form, not clicking, no Nortje. Ishant Sharma came in and gave something, but this guy kept them in the hunt. He's kept them in the hunt. How good has he been?
Yes. The spinners did a decent job, but I think Avesh is a reason. Avesh is the main. Avesh and the opening pair are the reason. Opening batting pair, of course.
Yeah.
They are the reason that Delhi is where they are in this edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, he turned up every time, and I think we'll come to this later in the podcast. So make sure you hang
he kept
around.
Umesh Yadav in the bench, so
Exactly.
Yeah.
He kept a seasoned IPL operator and India international on the bench. Two of them, in fact. Even when Ishant was fit, they were not willing to rush him in.
Yeah.
Held on. Absolutely amazing. Avesh represents one important factor, which is the next thing, which is the fact that young talent is being given responsibility in tense situations. This is something we did not see in the earlier editions of the IPL. Your young players came in and you threw them as grenades. You threw them up at the top of the order. Chalo lag gaya to lag gaya. You play and see where you get to, or you kept them at number 7, number 8, and see where you go. But in this edition, right, or not in this edition, in fact, in the last few years, you're seeing that these guys are being entrusted with important roles. Chetan Sakaria, you give Sakaria the ball and go and bowl the 19th over, go and bowl the 17th over, the 18th over. Similar things for others as well. Avesh Khan, another example we just spoke about. So that, Sandeepan, is a big differentiator, isn't it? Because overseas captains can trust young kids, young Indian kids. That's amazing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Bonkers.
And this good to see that this trend is changing, that over dependence on some of the star Indian players or overseas players.
Oh yeah.
It's more the team which is not more over dependent, the team that is doing well. And look at Delhi, look at Chennai, look at even RCB also.
Yeah.
So I guess overall, I mean this is good to see that these players are being utilized to their potential. So that is one aspect which has come out in the past few editions of IPL. The team which is not using which is still depending on their overseas stars or big Indian stars, they're struggling. For example, KKR.
आ ही गया, दुखती नस पे आपने खुद हाथ रख दिया.
आप देखिए, नागरकोटी को एक मैच नहीं मिला. Mavi को मतलब they don't trust Mavi to bowl at certain stages. So I guess.
Yeah, I think Abhishek will be happy about this because his favorite team, trusts young kids. At one point,
Rajasthan, from the first edition.
Absolutely.
From the first edition, yeah.
Absolutely. At one point, I remember this was in the game versus Hyderabad. You had 4 players under the age of 22 in the starting lineup, which was amazing from Rajasthan, and ended up winning that game.
Yes.
They beat Hyderabad.
This has been a trend from the first edition. Rajasthan has found players and has thrown them into the depth. See, they picked up Swapnil Asnodkar out of nowhere and sent him out to open. They picked up Kamran Khan out of nowhere. I think he got to bowl a super over. Then they keep.
That's true.
I can see. I can remember a lot of
Siddharth Trivedi is a very good example.
Abhishek Jhunjhunwala,
They invested a lot in
Ravindra Jadeja.
In Shane Watson. Remember, Watson was going. Ravindra Jadeja in 2008. They picked Ravindra Jadeja in the draft, and most importantly, Warren was the first to realize that Jadeja is a batsman. Jadeja, I think, bowled about 5 overs in the entire edition.
That's correct.
Now,
I remember.
It has been going on over years.
Yeah, I remember at one point the average age.
It is a shame that it's going.
Yeah, the average age of everybody except Shane Warne in the Rajasthan squad was 27. Shane Warne 36 at one end. This was in the first 2 editions when everybody was backing everyone in their team. Yeah, 100%. Shout out to RR. If this doesn't make Abhishek smile, I don't know what will. But regardless, honestly, they've been amazing. Let's talk about performances. Tell us what is the one performance by an uncapped Indian player that impressed you the most, Abhishek? Let's start with you.
Probably one performance. I'll have to pick Harshal's in the first match of the tour.
Oh, versus MI. Yeah. He was good. It came out of the blue, right? You were not expecting Harshal to bowl in the depth.
It came out of the blue.
Yeah.
No, I don't think anyone expected.
That's true.
Especially that last over. Remember how close that match went? It was decided of the last ball. And
that's true.
That happened because Harshal bowled that last over. Otherwise, Mumbai would probably have won. The match.
Yeah. Harshal Patel's numbers in the IPL this year, let me remind everyone, 7 matches, 17 wickets. But the one area that got a little tampered was the economy, 9.17, which is.
But he was mostly bowling. Yes. He was getting all his wickets in the death over.
Oh, but all the yeah. That's true. True.
Also, take away that huge over, and it may come down to under 9 or something.
Yeah. I think
that it's a lot.
Yeah, and I think he got hit again in one of the games after the Chennai game. So after the Chennai game, he made a comeback.
Yes.
I think there was another game they played after that. He got hit there again for 40, 50 odd runs in 4 overs.
But it's okay. Anyone can have one bad over.
That's true.
That's okay.
Do you see Harshal
It doesn't make Stuart Broad a lesser bowler.
Of course not. England fans listening to this podcast are going to kill us if we talk about Broad. Holy grail. So does Harshal then figure in your broader scheme of things for Team India? You think, Sandeepan?
In this format, definitely.
Of course, I mean, for Sri Lanka, he will definitely be in the scheme of things. He can bat down the order as well.
Yeah.
And he can bowl. He's a good death bowler. So they need someone to partner someone like Bhuvi. I mean, why not? I can see Harshal boarding that Sri Lanka bound flight.
So suddenly you've got this resurgence of bowlers that can bowl at the death. Avesh Khan, Harshal Patel, Sakaria can do the job as well. Not bad.
I am not sure about Sakaria. I think Sakaria was more, impressive with the new ball.
बिल्कुल.
He can swing the ball both ways. That's his biggest strength.
Chokre के पास थोड़ा pace
I
कम
would
है.
really like to see. I would really like to see him bowl long spells, which won't happen in this format, but in some other format.
Yeah, that's true.
Pace come hai, I understand, but I mean, this is not the age when you bowl at your fastest. Maybe a couple of years.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. Sandeepan, what's been your one performance that stood out for you from an uncapped Indian player?
Sakaria's debut.
Sakaria's debut. Including that catch that he took at at short leg
against Punjab. I mean,
short fine.
Not only from the cricketing point of view, the backstory also. So we have already discussed about it.
Yes, absolutely.
Heartbreaking.
Also, unfortunately, he's again going through some personal loss. Going through a personal loss, and our condolences to the entire family.
Yeah.
But that performance, I mean, you could have seen the hunger in his, in his eyes, in his celebrations. I mean, that was very touching. So,
100%.
He just wanted to release his, release his pressure, releases everything with the ball, with his performance.
Yeah.
And that's what he did on that spell.
Yeah. My one pick in this category is a slightly unconventional one, right? It is Deepak Hooda's mad. What did Deepak Hooda do? I mean, I the one thing that stood out for me about Hooda that has stood out over the years is that this guy has got these swimmer-like arms, right? He's got huge, long arms. It's something you don't have. Hardik is the only one who's got that body type in your middle order, and you need someone with that reach to get the ball that far. Who does that guy? He can do it. I mean, I was blown away by what he did in that game. What was it? The first game versus Rajasthan? He came in at 4 and just went crazy.
Yeah.
Bonkers.
There in social media, people were saying that probably Huda had a video call with Kunal Pandya before the game.
Okay.
Yeah, Kunal Pandya got sold a lot that day.
Quite possible. Quite possible. Krunal made up for it as well. We can't talk about Krunal because he's no longer uncapped. But yeah, that was mine. Now we spoke about the ones that impressed us. What about the others? Because there are a few names here.
I'll name two.
Yeah.
I'll name two.
Yeah.
One involves this is a moment. This has nothing to do with the performance. This is a moment, and this involves two of my favorite uncapped cricketers. Riyan Parag's selfie celebration with Rahul Tewatia.
Yeah, that was good.
I've seen nothing like that. Realistically, one performance that will stand out is Harpreet Braw's triple wicket. After his innings.
Yeah.
What a spell.
Yeah.
That to Kohli, Maxwell, and De Villiers. Kohli, Maxwell, De Villiers.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
You have seen time and again. You have seen Jadeja do this, Moeen Ali do this, but this is a young. Until that match, I think he did not have a wicket in the IPL. He played 3 matches and 0 wickets.
Oh, I think.
But that match,
his debut. I thought it was his debut. He had to wait for 3 years for.
No. He had. He had to wait for 3 years for his first wicket.
Oh, for his first wicket.
He had played before.
Yeah. What I mean, I think he's from the same town of Harmanpreet Kaur. So on that day, people were talking about
Moga.
Good place to come from.
Sonu Sood also comes from there.
Wow, good people indeed. For some reason, right? I really like the look of Shah Rukh Khan. I don't know why. I think there are a couple of occasions when he came out to bat, Punjab were in a mess, right? And his natural ability is he's a big guy. He's 6 foot, 1? I'm sure he weighs 80-90 kilos, and his natural instinct is to hit the ball. But the way he applied himself in some situations, I remember 37 of around 25 balls in one of the games, saved Punjab. I think he was very impressive. I think he's an asset for sure for India in the time to come.
Yeah, of course. Of course
the biggest thing is he doesn't seem bothered by what is going on. I've always believed that T20s, even if you lose wickets, you should never stop hitting.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of player I would like to see more.
Yeah. Good time to quote MS Dhoni. He often says that T20 is a game that's won by the team that panics last. So yeah. Sandeepan, what about you? Give me your one, I don't want to call it a joker card, but just one wild card uncapped Indian player that you liked this year who might not have done a lot, but he was impressive. What's your name? What's your one name going to be?
I think I was thinking about Brar only. I mean, after that performance.
Yeah. Interesting.
And
it's crazy, right? We're talking about Punjab. We spoke about Hooda. We spoke about Shah Rukh. We spoke about Brar. But
yeah,
ridiculous. They didn't make any of it. They obviously didn't have a lot of luck.
Akshadip bowled well initially. In the first half, he started well. Akshadip bowled well. So there are quite a few Punjab players who performed in patches. But again, their main problem lies at the top.
That's true. Couple of issues there. So, okay, let's talk macro, right? Obviously, we're seeing a lot of Indian players. We're seeing a lot of uncapped Indian players just coming to the fore and performing incredibly.
We haven't spoken about one guy, Shahbaz Ahmed. I think he also did well for RCB.
Of course, it was good.
Yeah.
He was good.
He was impressive with both bat and ball, and for the major part of their games in Chennai, Kohli trusted him to ahead of some of the senior players. So yeah, I mean,
he dropped Washington Sundar for him as well one occasion.
Yeah.
Dropped Sundar for him.
He batted at number 3 in one of the games.
Yeah. The point I
one
was
team where the uncapped cricketers did not do well is Hyderabad. Had Hyderabad's uncapped middle order Indian cricketers clicked the way some other teams have, I think Hyderabad would have been a much better position.
We're talking about Abhishek Sharma, Samad, those
Virat
guys.
Singh.
Virat Singh, couple of those guys. Yeah.
But unfortunately, those players were tested in the middle on conditions in Chennai. I mean, where middle orders of every team got, KKR could not get 31 of 31 7 wickets in hand, and they're like a Sapkib, Russell, Dinesh Karthik.
I still believe that Abhishek, Samad, Virat and Garg, I think, did not get a match this time. They are extremely talented cricketers. They are just not clicking.
Yes.
I mean, in all fairness, this season in the UAE, they did well.
With them.
I hope that if any other venue than Chennai they would have played, they would have got runs. Any other venue than Chennai.
Yeah. But it seems like all was not well in that camp. It seemed like that. It's very uncharacteristic of Hyderabad to make these radical changes. They're not a franchise that does that, but it happens. Every team has an
okay. There are still 7 matches left.
As and when they happen. Right here.
The Afghans will not come. The Afghans will not will not join the next if the IPL happens. That's the latest news.
Interesting. What are the other teams that
depending on when it happens?
Depending on
I mean,
a lot of ifs.
If you take the Afghans out of Hyderabad, what are we left with?
The Kiwis are not coming either. So no Kane Williamson, no Nabi, no.
But depends on when and where it happens. Huh?
Exactly.
UAE,
that's what it is.
No Mujib. But depends on when it. But depends on when and where it happens. If it happens in, say, England, then I think they may come.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. It also, 100%. That's what it is, and that's a little. That's a few ways down the road. Before that, of course, there are a few things have to happen. There has to be certain movement, because in today's world, in the way you go about organizing cricket, it's not as easy as it used to be.
Don't worry, BCCI will use their diplomatic channels. BCCI has some sort of a power to convince the other cricket boards.
Power to convince.
So you might see some. For example, India will be going to New Zealand for just 3 ODIs next year. So they will be playing just 3 ODIs. They will travel to New Zealand, play 3 ODIs, come back just before the IPL next year.
Probably that's a place where our young Indian uncapped players will get a lot of debuts there. wholesale debuts. किसको चाहिए कितना चाहिए ले लो.
But 15 घंटे का फ्लाइट लेके न्यूजीलैंड जाके 3 ओडीआई खेल के फिर.
Passion है sir, passion. You want to play for India? Passion. All right. Okay, so if we look at the macro picture, right? We realize all these names that we took on the podcast today. You realize that all of them performed, of course. That's why we're talking about them. But 2, they took on responsibility in tense situations. They executed. This particular thing was entrusted to foreign players and capped Indian players when the IPL began, when it went on in the middle phase, etc. Now these boys are coming into it. They go into it and they're ready to embrace responsibility right away. What has been the differentiator? What has led to this change, and how amazing is this? These boys are ready to take on international cricket right away, Sandeep. And this is insane, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks to IPL, thanks to the pipeline that Indian cricket has prepared for them. So majorly is thanks to IPL. I mean, look at Sakaria. He's bowling against the likes of Gale, all T20 superstar, and he's taking wickets. Look at the likes of Varun Chakravarti. I mean, so why not? Devdutt Padikkal hitting Ravada for 6 through mid wicket. I mean, so it's thanks to the IPL. I guess IPL has given this Indian cricket, this platform that now there is the no fear approach. So I guess
fair.
And since the first edition of the tournament as well, I mean, we have seen. Yeah.
Remember, we have grown up hearing Test cricket is the best format, but this generation is the IPL generation. They have, see, a 16-year-old, 17-year-old now.
Yeah.
They have as much memory of IPL as they have of Test cricket.
Yeah.
So to them, IPL is very important. To us, IPL came much later in our cricket viewing. See, for someone like Tendulkar, IPL came pretty late. He had to adapt. But these cricketers who are teenagers now, have been trying to play in T20 style from the day they picked up their bat.
The coaching style has also changed.
Yes. They have the advantage that even the Kohlis and Rohits did not. Kohlis and Rohits had to adapt to T20 cricket later in their career.
Yeah. Also, the way the franchisees go about it, right? You have a year-round operation at most of these franchisees now. If once you've gotten into an auction, once you have a deal, you then come in and they call you in the of course, when times are normal, they're called
not
in.
Only the franchisees, not only the players who are contracted, even at the grassroots level, if you see, you can see coaches trying to tell kids how to do power hitting. Our days it was not there. I mean, our days, अगर हम पहले 6 बॉल में 1 बॉल भी ड्राइव भी कर देते तो कोच आके बोलता था क्यों ड्राइव किया, आप छोड़ना चाहिए था बॉल को ऑफ स्टंप के बाहर करीब.
मेरे को डंडे पड़ते थे यार. मेरे को डंडे पड़ते थे. हाँ.
So the method, the thought intact, what I'm trying to say is that the entire thought process has changed. So,
Yep. Couldn't have ended it better. This generation is an IPL generation. Golden words by Abhishek Mukherjee. Please frame them and put them in your bedroom. All of those who are aspiring to be uncapped Indian players in the time to come, and just follow your dreams.
I don't think India caps will always be important. But you will find cricketers who will be perfectly happy to remain uncapped Indian cricketers as long as they become franchise cricketers. I think that equation is changing. Other countries have that. How many international matches does Rashid Khan play? And how many franchisee matches does he play?
The idea of being a professional cricketer, right? It's changing. The professional cricketer angle. Yeah, it's not just about playing, I'll go play for country. It's become like an occupation where you go and do your role, you travel around, go to different franchises, execute.
You have assignments, throughout the year. Whether you have assignments throughout the year or not, that's what matters as well. It's more like football, it's soccer, it happens.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right.
Why not? I mean, cricketers in some countries will never make as much money by playing in India. They will, but in some countries they won't. They will never make as much money playing international cricket as they will make playing franchise cricket. And the playing days of cricketers are limited. They do not extend. I mean, even if you are very fit, they won't extend up after 45. So your days of peak earning is limited. So it's obvious that cricketers will want to, and they're human beings.
Yeah. All right. If you want to sign off by letting our listeners and viewers know of one uncapped kid who has not yet made it big on the scene, who would that be? Let's start with you, Abhishek. One kid who's not yet made it big, but will make it big in your thoughts on the IPL stage.
Samad.
A very good call. That's a very good call. Why do you say that? We obviously know why he's good.
I'll tell you why. I believe that in T20 cricket, see, you have 120 balls. You have 8 people who can bat. So that's 15 balls per person.
Yeah.
I in an ideal T20 side, I would like to see batters who do not take that extra 1 or 2 balls to get their eye in. Samad can hit sixes from the first ball he faces. He can middle them well and he can hit them big. I think that is a major quality. There are very good batsmen across the world, many, but I think as more and more sixes are being hit, the MVPs of the future will be cricketers who do not take that extra 1 or 2 ball to get their eye. They will become the MVPs.
Sandeepan, for you?
Surya Kumar Yadav is an example.
That's true. No one's going to forget that first ball 6 of his international debut. Cold, ice cold. Sir Vivian Richards cold. Yes, Sandeepan. Your pick.
My pick. I think I will go with Sakaria.
Wow. What do you like about him? What do you like about him?
His attitude.
Yeah.
His attitude on the field. He's ready to play fire with fire. He has the skills as well. Obviously, he's lacking the pace a little bit, but definitely he will improve. With the hopefully he will get in touch with the coaches at the NCA and he will do all the training and all. And I think he will make it big. Not only at the IPL level but at the India level as well. And remember, there is a scarcity of left-arm pace bowlers in Indian cricket. I mean, at least in this.
Absolutely. Always looking out for left-armers. Different angle. For me, I think Abhishek will be very happy with this answer. I am really looking forward to Kartik Tyagi coming into his own. He is a bomb that's waiting to explode. That one delivery, the first ball to Manish Pandey in Delhi when Rajasthan played Hyderabad, 145 clicks. Pandey looked like he was, with all due respect to Manish Pandey, looked like he was facing a big bully who's come to scare him back into the dressing room.
I think it came sort of unexpected to him.
Probably he wasn't expecting it.
He wasn't. He didn't expect something like that.
146 kilometers per hour past the outside edge. Absolutely amazing. So I think, for me, Kartik Tyagi, there are a few things about him. I think he's...
Kartik Tyagi is going to England, right?
I think he should. I think he is as well, because he was with the Australian contingent throughout. Indian contingent with when they were playing versus Australia.
एक और टेस्ट मैच होता तो शायद उसका भी डेब्यू हो जाता.
Probably. My dad was really looking forward to seeing him though. I mean, he's a kid. He's quite amazing. I have seen at the
under-19 level from, like, I was in Lucknow and he was bowling against the Afghan under-19s and he was like lethal.
But here's the thing. He's not only acquired experience in that trip with India down under, but now he's also working on his body. When we saw him this time in the IPL, he's looking stronger. He's running in with more venom. Running in with more rhythm, bowling with more venom. I think he's a bomb that's going to explode very soon. And I think the other thing, he's got a very good attitude. I saw the same look that I see from Jasprit Bumrah on a number of occasions when he goes past the outside edge. I saw the same look in Kartik's eyes. He likes a contest, and that is something that you want to see in a fast bowler. Kartik Tyagi for me is going to be one for the future for sure. Are you happy with that answer, Abhishek?
Yes, of course. I can see several Rajasthan cricketers reaching a level, playing maybe a couple of matches for India. I hope they play more, but
Parag as well.
Rajasthan cricket, I mean, these cricketers will keep hitting the doors. Dubey has played. Samson has played. Tewatia was in the squad.
He will.
Sakaria, I think, is good enough to play at some point. Tyagi will be good enough to play at some. Tyagi is good enough
also
to play
has
at
played,
some
right?
point.
Jaydev.
Yes,
Jaydev.
Who?
Jaydev
has played.
He's played
test matches.
And Jaiswal will play. Jaiswal will play at some point. So I think you will see these cricketers play. One cricketer I would love to see is Parag, but he has still not. But he was really impressive this season.
He was.
I liked watching him this season. He seemed a better batsman.
Yeah, he did.
Actually, it is easier for bowlers to make it to the top than the batsmen. And for someone like Parag, the competition will be much more stiffer than probably for someone like Sakaria or Tyagi.
It is. And I think that's also because bowlers run out of steam very quickly at the international stage. It's very easy for a bowler to break down, and then there's a slot, there's a vacancy there. If you're good and if you're clicking at that time, you go straight in. So yeah, definitely think it's easier for the bowlers. However, the bowlers listening in, yeah, sorry, but that's just my opinion. All right, that's all the time we have on this edition of the podcast. This was fun. We have a couple of episodes to come as well. We'll talk about the IPL and the relationship that it has now because it's been postponed. The second half will be played at a certain point in the calendar year, hopefully, and it will have its implications. We'll bring you all of that and more in this in on the podcast and on Cricket News as well. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you haven't followed, please do so. You can follow us on these handles that are on our screens as well. And yeah, we'll try to keep you entertained on all things cricket. Sandeepan, thank you for joining us. Have a good afternoon. Make sure you eat some good lunch on my behalf as well. I'm starving. And Abhishek, thank you for joining us as well. A pleasure having you. Don't worry, your haircut's fine. It's fine. It's honestly fine.
And do let me know when Goa opens for tourists. Huh? I need a vacation.
No, we're not opening. Sorry, don't come. Don't come. Don't. No. Bye.
Bye.